The date, June 6, 1944. Operation Overlord, the largest offensive in military history, had gone as the Allies planned. American, British, and Canadian troops, supported by 3 airborne divisions, landed in Normandy under extensive enemy fire. While the operation succeeded in crushing the German defense, the cost to the Allies was many thousands of dead. German positions along the coastline of northern France were obliterated, and the Allies threatened the remaining defensive lines. The U.S. Army, led by General Bradley, moved in the direction of Cherbourg, while British and Canadian forces under the command of General Montgomery approached the town of Caen as the door to the German defense in Paris. June 12, 1944. The British 4th Armored Division were set to assault the town of Villers-Bocage, which appeared to be an easy target, being defended by only a handful of German infantry, with no heavy weapon or armor support. The British hoped that by June 13, they would secure the town. Doing so would open a southern flank towards Caen. Conquering Caen would then allow the Allies to approach Paris in several days, and thus seal the fate of the German forces in France. All that stood in the way of an easy victory at Villers-Bocage was a handful of tanks of the 501st Heavy Tank Battalion, led by Obersturmführer Michael Wittmann. Not only were the Germans in Caen depending on their success, but so too were all the German forces in France. If they held out, so would the Western Front.
Hello everybody, my name is Retroliser and welcome back to Soldiers Heroes of World War II, where we've moved on to the final chapter of this game, The Wrath of the Tiger. Obviously the Germans had to have their say, and this is it. We are moving on to the adventures of Michael Wittmann, an individual who is, praised by many in the Wehrmacht for being one of their greatest tank aces, and also being quite the daredevil. But still, let's go and move swiftly onwards and get started with his adventures.
Wittmann and his fellow tankmen had every faith in the Tiger, which they believed was the best tank in the world. Not because of the vigorous rhetoric from their leaders back in Germany, but because they had seen what the tank could do in battle. Whilst fighting in Kursk and in East Ukraine, packs of agile Russian T-34s had stubbornly thrown themselves at the German tanks, only to be overwhelmed by the Tiger's formidable gun and resilient armor. The group was cautiously heading towards Villers-Bocage to bolster the pitiful resistance. It was not a good time to be a German soldier, even inside the formidable Tiger. The enemy dominated the skies of Normandy. The Tiger, while unsurpassed on the ground, stood little chance against the Allied Typhoon fighter bombers with their determined armor-penetrating rockets. Even if they could get to Villers-Bocage undetected, they'd still have to face numerous Allied Sherman and Cromwell tanks, which outnumbered them 7-1. Wittmann knew the odds were stacked against them. However, he and his men were determined to go out in a blaze of glory, taking as many of the enemy with them as possible. Several kilometers from Villers-Bocage, his fears were realized when he heard the distant approach of plane engines. He concluded that the approaching planes were probably Allied, so he barked the order to head for cover and get the tanks out of sight. Otherwise, their mission would be over before it had begun.
Indeed. Still, shouldn't be too hard. We'll go and do exactly that and get those precious German tanks under cover. After all, I did mention that they were terribly over-engineered and...
Allied fighter bombers are fast approaching. If the column does not find suitable cover, and quickly, the enemy planes will obliterate the tanks. There is a disused farm area up ahead. This may provide cover.
Right, well if that's the case, let's go and do exactly that. As I was saying, even though I can't actually remember what I was saying. Oh yes. Incredibly over-engineered. You're damn right there's a disused farm up ahead, so without further ado, get ourselves in. And that should keep us out of sight. Meanwhile, a Panzer IV and 2 Tigers. Now, as I was saying, due to them being incredibly over-engineered, it means that every single tank that they lose, you know, they're going to struggle to replace. Now, Wiegmann must survive, okay. Which I only assume is in this one. In fact, I do remember his tank number. Wiegmann was the individual who was given tank 007, if I'm not mistaken. It's quite a coincidence, considering that a few years later 007 would be the name of a British secret agent of fictional fame, but still. Here's our British enemy. I feel bad going against them. But there's not really that much we can do about it, except soldier on. Right, there we go. Glorious.
Although the disused farm building provides suitable cover from the planes, the danger is far from over. A group of British commandos have fortified the bridge up ahead. What's more, if they discover the tanks, then they will surely call back the planes via the APC radio station. The bridge must be secured and the APC destroyed. However, it will have to be handled on foot
by just a handful of men. Right. Well, I've no qualms with that. Let's go and do exactly that. Come on, chaps. Medals for courage, eh? I'll be honest, I don't need one. Our purpose is solely to just do our job. I don't really need anything else. Right, here's 2 chaps. 1 down. 2 down. Bloody hell. Right. This is bad. We've gone and attracted their attention. That was the last thing I needed. No matter. We'll just have to make the best of a bad situation. Incoming! Come on, take him out. Good chap. And this chap, we need to take out every last one of them. Ah, first things first, the bridge. Bollocks. Come on, son. There we go. God in Himmel. I've no idea what Himmel is, but I do know that it's God in something. Still, we need to get across. It's not going to be easy, though. Since we're currently being fired upon by anti-tank guns, it seems. I didn't see any tanks over there.
Oh my lord.
There you go. That chap bit the dust. However, this guy has run out. Bloody hell! That is bad. We've lost some of our tank crew. Shit! Yes. Come on, get across. This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Alright, boys. Who wants a medal for courage?
I'll be honest, courage isn't what's necessary now. It's survival. Now, come on. Take him out. Who's next? These chaps are next.
Not part of the plan.
Come on, son. Show yourself, you bastard. Hold your fucking fire. Let him show himself. Yeah, planes. You're not calling them back, though. We're going to do everything within our power to stop you from doing so. Glorious. Now. Meanwhile, is that chap holding on to, He is holding on to it.
I'm the one for the party.
Well, isn't that just grand?
This one's for you, mate.
Looks like the Germans want to see us dead.
What the hell is he Is he holding a BAR? Wow, I am disappointed. Let's see what this chap's got. Oh, no, that's a Bren.
A German soldier would
That is a
rather
beautiful
die than
gun
miss the
that we can
attack.
borrow.
Charge! Gott im Himmel!
However, he's holding on to something and it does not sound like a Bren. I want to know what it is. There we go, got him. What is it? Yep, it's a BAR. Thought as much. In fact, because we haven't actually seen one, amazingly enough, so far in this game, I do believe it would be a good idea to go and give the BAR some attention. Although technically not a light machine gun, it is, as it says, the Browning automatic rifle. It is an automatic rifle. Yet, it became the ever-present light machine gun used by squads across the United States Army and the Marine Corps throughout the war. While its bigger brothers like the M1917 Browning medium machine gun and the M1919 were used on a smaller basis. I can see why, because the 1917 and 1919 are quite bulky things, but in comparison to other machine guns of the time, like the British Bren, bloody hell, open fire, will you? Let's see, the British Bren or the German.
We're in a world of hurt.
What am I thinking of? The German
Gott mit uns!
the German MG34 and 42. That was it. Here we go.
Now it's getting hot.
Bang. We got him.
Want to play Katze und Maus?
Glorious. Is that it? Yes, it most certainly is. Phew! And with that, it is of course time to go and end it there, for we have run out of time. But don't worry, I'll be back soon enough to continue Michael Wittmann's adventures. But, if you can't wait until then, do please check out the selection boxes on my left, or go to the channel itself. There is plenty more to be seen. Thank you very much once more for watching, and of course from me, ta-ta!